NRL players go under the knife in the off-season to clean up some old injuries. Kurt Mann was one of those. Kurt, you had a shoulder injury that needed surgery. How's it all now?
Yeah, so it's come along pretty good. I had my AC done, so I think I done it in round 4 last year, so I was just getting needled to play. And yeah, so I went in under the knife in the off-season, had my rotator cuff repaired as well and had my AC pinned down.
How do you rate your 2017 season? Because you're in and out of the side, you played a bit in the halves, a bit at fullback.
Yeah, I think, you know, like you said, I was in and out and a few different positions and that, but I finished pretty strong, I think, and there was periods in the middle there where I was playing pretty good footy as well when I got my chance.
Do you think your versatility helps or hinders you? Because it's, in a way it might be your biggest strength, but it could be your biggest weakness, because Mary knows that if there's an injury anywhere in the back line, he can just throw you in.
Yeah, definitely. It is, you know, it's a good thing because it gets me picked every week as well, but then again it's bad because I sort of end up playing positions where, you know, I'm not comfortable or it doesn't really suit me. So there was times there last year where I was named to play in the halves, but I ended up playing on the wing just because of injuries. The first thing I've got to do is, you know, try to get that starting spot. That's the main thing.
What about Ben Hunt? What are you looking forward to most about playing alongside him?
You know, just the way, you know, the way he plays. You know, he's a tough little bloke and he rips in defence, and you know, I think he'll bring a lot to our team in terms of experience and control as well around the middle. But I used to go to school with him actually, there at St Brennan's in Yeppoon, so it'd be good to have another Brennan's boy.
So did you play a bit of footy alongside him when you were kids?
Nah, actually he was in grade 11 when I rocked up, so I was only in grade 8, and it was a boarding school as well, so we boarded at the same school, and I spent a bit of time with him there. Every time I see him, I say hello and catch up with him when I can, but yeah, it'd be good when he comes down here.
Kurt Mann, what a win from the boys after a long few weeks.
Yeah, definitely. It's good to get out here, you know, get the win, especially at Leichhardt against their physical side, and you know, hopefully we can move a bit of momentum going in the finals.
First time playing in the halves or featuring in the halves this season, mate. Obviously a good return to the halves year.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I really enjoy getting the opportunity to play here. You know, we've got a couple of world-class players in Gaz and Honey, so it sort of keeps us from playing here. But I got the opportunity last year. You know, it's one of my preferred positions, but I had big shoes to fill while we're missing Gaz, and yeah, I'm just really grateful for the opportunity.
When Ben Hunt went off, mate, you had to take control of it. How did you like that kind of part of the game?
You know, it's not my strong suit, you know, so it's something I haven't really done a lot of over the last couple of years because I've been playing a few different positions. But, you know, like I said, just grateful to get the opportunity and take over a bit of kicking, and, you know, good to get my hands in that.
Sure, congratulations on the game and the win, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Just give us an overview of that loss, mate. How did it feel from the boys' point of view?
Yeah, it was pretty tough. It's always tough losing games of footy, especially you know, with the period we've just gone through, and we're going to go into a pretty sort of crucial part of the competition for us now going into the next few weeks. So yeah, it was hard to swallow, but pretty proud of the effort the boys, you know, we put in out there, and you know, there was times we were under the pump pretty badly, and you know, I think we stood up, but the game sort of got away from us in the end.
Feels like the scoreline might not have reflected how close the game was for the majority of the game.
Yeah, definitely. You know, like I said, we spent a lot of the time camped down our own end. You know, they were winning field position pretty easily, and you know, we had a lot of 6 agains go against us as well. I think in the back end of the game, that's sort of what hurt us was all those 6 agains and making, you know, the extra tackles throughout the game.
You got plenty of raps for your effort. How did you feel like you played?
Yeah, I felt like I played my role pretty much. There's still a lot of room for improvement as well, so about to go inside and have a look at a few things that I can work on, and as a team we can all work on as well.
How have you adapted? Obviously the last few weeks there's been injuries and a lot of changes to the squad. How do you feel like you've adapted to, I guess, being at 6 and the people around you?
Yeah, you know, it's been pretty easy. It's been a pretty smooth transition. We train every single day with those people, so you know, it's not too untoward. You sort of build combinations at time with people, but the amount of training we do together and stuff, it's pretty easy for someone new to slide in.
Feeling a bit last week, you know, fullback and all over the place. Does that make it difficult for you?
Yeah, I played 4 different positions on the weekend, so but you know, it's something I can do. You know, I can sort of do those roles and fill those positions. So you know, if that's what the team needs of me, then you know, I'm happy to do it.
Kurt Mann, after full time, Kurt obviously shattered to go down like that at the end, but you got to give credit to the boys. We certainly gave it our all tonight.
Yeah, disappointing the result. I think we made it pretty hard on ourselves just after half time. We had that 20-minute period where we just defended our line the whole time, didn't have any field position, and when we did get the ball back, we just turned it over too easy, and you can't do that to a side like them. They'll just punish you for it. we did well to hold them out and restrict them and keep ourselves in the game, but just silly from us, real silly.
We've been in a couple of golden point scenarios now. What can we take away and move forward with the lessons we've learnt from tonight?
Look, the good thing is, we're hanging in there, but like I said, we're just periods of the game where we're just lapses and we're letting ourselves down, mate. I think we get our fair share of ball there. We could easily finish that game off. We just need to play a bit smarter.
Yeah, Kurt. I guess obviously with Braille's out, big role for you now.
Yeah, it is a big loss having Braille's gone for the rest of the year, but like you've seen Phoenix the last couple of weeks, he's played some really good footy there, and me and Phoenix have kind of been juggling that sort of role, just so till he finds his feet and gets his lungs. So he's doing a great job there as well.
How are you feeling this season? Seems like everything's going pretty well.
Yeah, I've had a bit of a up and down sort of start. I've missed a few games. That was the first back-to-back games I've played all year, so don't want to jinx myself yet. Just got to get through this week of training so I can put 3 in a row together.
I see you and Phoenix are doing a few extras out there. You doing that pretty often?
Yeah, Bedsy grabs us after training just with Braille's gone now and puts us through our paces. It's pretty good getting taught by one of the best nines that ever played the game. So me and Phoenix have been trying to get together and do a few little things after training.
Does it feel different this year, this side? It seems like there's a lot more resilience about you guys, and obviously last weekend it showed.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's got a bit of an old school feel to it. Like the game on the weekend kind of reminded me of when I was a kid. I used to watch a fair bit of Newcastle footy and that, and watching the game back, it seemed a lot like the field was beat up and everyone was sort of just out there trying to get the job done as well. So it's definitely a different feel to what it was last year. It's a whole different feel, whole different mentality with the group. So it's really exciting.
Is it just the confidence levels are there?
Yeah, I wouldn't. Everyone's always confident. You're always quietly confident. Last year we were confident, but I think we've just had a mentality shift. Ads and the other coaching staff put a lot of things in places this year that it's shown within our games of footy. Games that we're not playing very well, not starting well. We're always in contests. So it's pretty pleasing to be a part of a team that does that.
Trip to Townsville. How do you remember Townsville when you go up there?
Townsville's a big smoke for me. So where I grew up, Townsville was like the big city. So I was close to the city. It was about 5.5 hours away. So I think all my family will be up there this weekend. So it'll be good to catch up with them. And they haven't seen me play footy in about probably 3 years. So it'd be good to have them there.
The record-wise, how do you go up there?
I've done all right over my career up there, but last couple of times I've been up there the nights. So I don't think we've got the choppies. So we go up there with a good attitude and perform like we did on the weekend. I'm sure
it was different, because I was here and I was playing 20, so I was working at the time as well. I was an apprentice electrician while I was in Newcastle, so I was pulling cables and that, and I'd go to training in the afternoon, and then going down there, it was a full-time gig, so you don't work, and footy sort of becomes your life. So adjusting to that was something a bit different. You've got a lot of spare time, and you got to really look after yourself in that sort of spare time. You can't do a lot of things, and you can't do a lot of things that other people are doing as well. So that was probably the most difficult aspect of going from under 20s into the full-time sort of, especially me being a Queensland kid as well. I got to play with some of my childhood heroes, Billy, Cooper and Cameron. Got to play alongside all those blokes in my debut game, so it was something. I had a fair bit of stuff going on with my old girl at home. Our mum was sick, and sadly I lost mum about 3 months ago in the office. She'd tell me when she was proud of me, but she'd also tell you the other, if you didn't have too good a game, she was the one that sort of took me to all the games and that when I was a young fella, and she'd ring up after every game, check on me and see how I was going throughout my whole career. So I sort of wanted to do something special for her, and that was sort of a big driving point last year. And then to have the new coach Adam come in, I was pretty close with Adam down at Melbourne. I had him for a few years down there, and he sort of took me under his wing when I was there. And so when I found out he was coming as well, I love playing for him, and if I could, I'd like to play for him for the rest of my career. That makes me at the start of the year, and that's the strongest part of my game is running the footy. So that's what he wanted me to do, and he just picked 3 things for me to focus on. That was one of them. And I just focused on those things. My mate's probably my best position. Last year the best games of footy I played were when I played 5'8", and that's sort of been the same throughout my career. Anytime I've sort of played 6, I've always played my best footy. So if it was possible, playing 5'8" would be my most. When your 50 comes around, it's not that big of a deal, and then all of a sudden you're at your 100 and you do a little bit of reflecting, and now I'm at 150, and so it's all happened pretty quick. And if you asked me probably 10 years ago if I'd be happy to play 150 games, mate, of course would be. I was just happy to play one game at that stage, and to be able to play 150 is it's a huge honour. Probably something I'll always hold special. It's probably my greatest moment, and I think it will always be, regardless of whether or not I go on to achieve more things in the game. And I think that's always going to be my favourite moment of my playing career. I had to have my family there. I think it was 2014. We played Manly. As the game went on, got into it, got stuck into it, and a little pretty special moment at the end of it. Ended up scoring the match-winning try with about 2 minutes to go. Yeah, the last 2 years have been sort of a bit of a roller coaster for me. I lost my mum at the end of 2020. Mum was always a big part of me in my career. And then had my newborn baby, my little girl, and then had to move. I only got to spend about a week with her. And then I was in Origin camp, and then I was away for about 4 months, I think, nearly. So it was a bit of a whirlwind, a bit of a roller coaster. But looking back on it now, just being able to spend the time I got to with my mum at the back end of the year, back end of 2020 was the time you're never going to get back now, especially. Played a fair bit of 13 at the Dragons, and the way that Greeny and Joey have designed our attack this year, I think it really suits me and the way I play. I've played a lot in the halves, and I'm playing pretty much like another half as a link man, and just trying to put myself in the game when I can. I'm just excited to play footy. I'm excited to get out there and test ourselves, I think. There's obviously a lot of people writing us off, but I think we're going to shock a few people. From what I've seen, what we're doing in the training, no one else sees that stuff, but I just want to shut a few people up.
The greatest bronc riders ever to come out of Longreach up your way. And also, we've got a lot of listeners who are tuning into the Knights HQ, including from Toowoomba and Warwick. You've got a lot of people around that Darling Downs area, so you spread your wings pretty wide these days. Yeah, I grew up in Winton, which is only... Winton, Ray Herman. Ray Herman, he's the bronc rider. That's right. I grew up in Winton, so that's only an hour and a half from Longreach, and then I was sort of in between both the towns. So did all my schooling there. I went to boarding school when I was 12. So I went to St Brendan's in Yeppoon, which is sort of like it's a rugby league nursery down there. There's a lot of players that have come out of there. So that's where I got my start. And Keith Onslow, who was the recruitment officer at the Knights, this is in like 2007, picked me up then. Yeah. And I signed a 4-year contract when I was 15. And then, wait till I finished school and then moved straight down here. I remember that. Fitzy when he was a little 18-year-old, little surf rat. Yeah. I knew Kurt when he was a little whippersnipper. I remember those days because it was my first time at the club then too. And Kurt Keith Onslow recruited me from Warwick, so we're connecting well here. So we'll dive into now, having also grown up in a country town, you'll know the highlights of Winton. So if she said to someone, what are the 2 great things about living in Winton, what would they be?
Oh, if you're trying to sell it, am I trying to sell it to a tourist or am I selling it to
anyone? Just go with the best thing Winton's got.
If anyone out there listening is going to go to Winton, the Dinosaur Museum is that's their big showpiece out there. They got the Dinosaur Museum,
fantastic,
and it's the opal capital of Queensland.
Ooh,
there you go.
There we go.
How come you don't wear opals?
Mate, I got it. My old man. He's like, I call him. You ever watched The Hobbit?
Have you ever watched Opal Outback Hunters?
Yeah, I watch it all. There's a dude.
It could be you.
Mate, my old man, like you've seen The Hobbit, right? You know, the big dragon that sleeps on his treasure. So I
never seen The Hobbit, yeah.
Call me Dad Smart. He's honestly, under his bed, there's just buckets of opal. So he just sleeps on top of them.
Interesting stuff, that.
How would Fitzy go in Winton, Longreach area?
Country, but look at my hat.
Mate.
Ringers Westerners, country as.
No cafes out there,
as country
mate.
as they get.
No lattes, just flat
just
white,
quickly,
instant coffee.
Do you know Kurt's famous in the junior leagues? Do you know the story?
No, tell us, please.
Kicked it backwards and they lost the grand final.
You don't know it. So anyone who's listening, I'm not sure. You probably, if you're Knights HQ and subscribes, I'm sure they know about the infamous Kurt Mann moment in SG Ball. About 10 years ago, he was little Kurt Mann. He's about 60 kilo, ring and wet. I believe he's playing. Were you playing fullback? Halfback. There you go. Yeah. So half fullback. Anyway, so they had a red hot SG Ball side, and I'm pretty sure they were winning.
We lost one game.
Yeah.
We lost to the Bulldogs. And so Clemmer played in the Bulldogs team that year.
Oh.
And we lost to his team. That was the only game we lost.
Pretty red hot.
Then we
side.
played the Bulldogs in the grand final.
Anyway, so they were up in the grand final
with about a minute to go.
A minute or so to go, and Kurt thinks, I've got the ball in my hands here. What should I do? Should I kick it out? I don't want to kick it out because I think they'll get the ball back. So I'll kick it behind me. I'll kick it dead. And so we got 45 seconds to drop the ball out. So he's turned around. You should get the footage up. And he kicked it behind him. And it didn't go dead.
It just bounced up and they scored.
Who was running through to score it?
Brendan Sandy, remember him?
Yeah, Brendan Sandy. He ran through and he scored. And Kurt lost. They didn't lose the grand final, but they almost lost the grand final if it wasn't for
Lachlan Shippard.
A winger.
Love him. He kicked the field goal. Our winger kicked the field goal from like 40 out. It was first set out, like extra time. Our first set, they kicked off to us. We had some big dudes in our team too, so we just rolled down. And then Lockie Shippard from 40 metres out kicked the field goal. I was shouting beers all night.
Yeah. So you've got a blown up picture of Lockie at home, haven't you? Because he saved your bacon big time, didn't he?
Yeah.
All right, little story, Kurt Mann. People who don't play in the NRL and they played with the junior system, you're like, do you know Kurt Mann? They're like, yeah, Kurt Mann. Is that the guy in the grand final kicked the ball backwards and lost it? I'm like, yeah, that's the one.
Well, people ask me about it all the time still. It's been 10 years.
Is keen on reigniting the Dogs of War mantra that brought the club premiership success. Despite concerns in the forward pack, Mann is determined to step up, fill the void and provide some guidance along the way. He spoke to our reporter Corey Hammond.
Well, Kurt, how are you settling into the blue and white?
Yeah, mate, it's been a good change actually. It's been really good. Been gone very smooth, surprisingly. I've only been here 2.5 weeks, but everyone's made me feel really welcome, and it's just a great club to be at the moment.
I guess for you, what was the catalyst of the move?
Just more of a role in the team, I think. More of an opportunity, and I'm 30 this year, so I kind of wanted to take more of a senior role in the team. And
I guess one of your strengths is your versatility, but I guess in some ways that's the weakness because at times, it might be hard to lock down that one spot. You say you want to take more of a sort of senior role. Does that mean you want to lock down a position? If so, what would that be?
Yeah, ideally, mate, that'd be the goal. Probably that ball playing middle roles, where I think I'll play my best footy, with the way the game's gone. But me being 30, it's sort of my job to, lift the boys, lift the training standard, and I've been around it for a long time now, so I don't really have to mentor them because they're all going to find their own path. But if I can just give them a few pointers and just help them out any way possible, then I think I've done the job.
In terms of that ball playing middle, potentially in that 13 position or something along those lines, I guess one area that Canterbury has struggled in is in the forwards. Is that something you're mindful of about bringing a point of difference that maybe the pack hasn't had here for a while?
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of the good teams in this sort of era of rugby league, they all have that ball playing middle. It's kind of like a link man, that links the middles to the outside backs, which is it's kind of crucial these days, I think, with the way the game's gone and the rule changes. So, yeah, definitely that would be a point of difference, I reckon.
And how tapped in are you and some of these new guys to the history here? Because, I mean, there is such a proud and rich history, parochial fans, so there's a lot of pressure on you guys.
Yeah, mate, we see it every day. In our gym just in there, there's a wall that's just covered in names and rep honours and all sorts of things in there, and every day I'm in there just staring up trying to figure out who's who and just having a look about. So, mate, I think they're trying to get the Dogs of War back is what I always used to hear, that it was the Dogs of War. So if we can sort of emulate that or even come close to that, it'd be a really good step forward.
Skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, 100% reason to remember the name. He doesn't need his name up in life.